What's up, guys? Stefan, S&E's Garage. Today we're going to be replacing the bumper on this 2010 Wrangler JKU. Guys, title says it all. We went out and we picked up a Rugged Ridge full-length front bumper. We're going to go in the garage and check it out, but while we're walking we're going to talk as well. We also went out and picked up a 12,000-pound Apex winch, Badlands Apex, and we bought both of these things on Facebook Marketplace. I picked up the winch brand new in the box, 350 bucks. Picked up the bumper brand new in the box, 400 bucks. We did have to take the bumper out of the box to get it home because we put it in the back seat of our Camry. But here's our bumper here. It's still in the plastic. But like I said, this is a full-length bumper, and it has the recessed winch, so the winch is a little bit below the bumper, and it's going to be nice because it's going to keep the winch away from the front grille and allow airflow into my transcooler and radiator. And then over here we have our Apex Badland winch, like I said, 12,000 pound with a synthetic rope, and we have our hardware kit and installation sheet for this bumper. Now, from all the reading I've done, these bumpers install super easily here. So let's go over to the Jeep and take a look. So realistically, all we have to do is pull these fog lights out, take off my license plate. We're just going to unplug the fog lights for now. This cover here unclips. Mine's been unclipped. I never put clips back in it. And then we only have 1, 2, 3. There's a third bolt or nut on the inside of the bumper right around in here. And then we have the same thing over here. You'll see them right here. Wait for the light to turn on, if it does. But they're right there. And then if we come up under here, you'll be able to see the third one up in this area. Now, what we actually have to do is remove this aftermarket front tow hook. You guys won't have to do that unless you have one of these, but we're going to get this thing out of the way, then we're going to go ahead and take our bumper off. Alright guys, we went ahead really quickly and just unplugged our fog lights here, and you'll see now we have a clear shot at our bolts here for the bumper. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the outside 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to be using our impact gun with a swivel. We're going to zip these right off. Alright guys, so just like that, we went ahead and got our old bumper off. You will see here that we did have to pull 1, 2, 3, and 4 little clips out from the back side of the bumper back here. And we left our fog lights in. We're going to have to take them out and transfer them over to our new bumper. So let's go ahead and do that. Looks like they're going to come out here with a Phillips head. There's going to be 4 Phillips head drivers. We'll go ahead and pull them out, go into the garage, put them on the new bumper, and we'll upgrade them eventually, but for right now we're just going to swap them over. Alright guys, so this bumper comes with brackets for if you're using LED lights. For right now we are just reusing our factory fog lights. So all you're going to need is this carriage bolt assembly here. It's going to come with the bolt, flat washer, lock washer, and nut. And you'll see you're just going to go ahead and install the fog lights like this. So we're going to go ahead and do the other side. And then we're going to figure out exactly how to set up the winch mount. Right, guys, so the next thing you're going to want to do is install these little plastic guys here. These are basically going to help keep your hardware in the bumper when you go to slide it onto the Jeep. That's going to make your life a lot easier. So we went ahead and did that. We're going to pull the plastic off of this bumper now. We're going to walk out to the Jeep and we're just going to go ahead and very lightly thread this on. We are putting a winch on as well, so we're going to leave the bumper loose as to be able to manipulate it and move it around so that we can get the winch on it. But let's go ahead, go out to the Jeep, get this thing threaded on, and go from there. Alright guys, so we got our bumper on here nice and loose. We went ahead and started all the hardware here, but you can see it's still tilted forward quite a bit, and that's the way we want it. Because we're going to go ahead in the garage and get our Badlands winch. We're going to bring it out here and set it into place and get everything ready with that. That way we can just go ahead and tighten the bumper and the winch will already be on it. and that's one less thing we have to worry about in the future. Now, what's nice about this bumper is that it has frame tie-ins on either side of the bumper, along with what connects to the bumper from the frame, you know, normally. So if you look in the directions here, you'll see these brackets right here. That's for the JK, and they tie in the sides of the bumper to the frame so that you don't have any issues. But here's our Badlands Apex. You see our tow hook over here. Here's our fair lead, our wiring. This is our remote, stickers, things like that. We're just gonna very crudely, I don't believe I need this, but we're gonna check the directions, but we're just gonna very crudely place this onto the bumper and tighten it down. That way it's on the bumper, and then we'll worry about the wiring later. Alright guys, so to install this winch, you're going to have these 4 little square bolts here. They're going to slide into these pockets, like so. And they are going to allow you to bolt the winch to the bumper in this location here. So we're going to go ahead, slide these in, pick the winch up, put it on, and then we're going to use the hardware that the winch came with to secure the winch. Alright guys, so we've more or less got our winch here mounted. So now we're good to go ahead and tighten this bumper up. But before we do that, I am just going to figure out how I want to run these battery cables here to my battery. But I think we're going to call it a night tonight because it's getting a little late. So we're going to pick up in the morning. Guys, I know I said we would start off you know, where we left off tomorrow, but I did just want to really quickly rough in the power and ground wires. So you'll see here, I went right through the grill here, up in between the air conditioning condenser, and we came up here, up behind the power steering reservoir. We're up and over into the battery. I did just take the air cleaner assembly out of the way to wrap that. So now I can stop for the night. I can hook this thing up tomorrow. I can tighten everything, and then we'll pretty much be done other than installing the fair lead. Alright guys, so it's the next morning here, and you'll see, like I said, we got the winch roughed in, we got the wires roughed in, and we got the bumper on loosely. So our next step here is going to be to do the frame tie-ins for the back of the winch plate here. You'll see there's bolt holes here, there's 2 here and 2 here, and these guys here are going to tie our winch plate into the frame of the vehicle. So not only will we have support here at the frame rails, we'll have it back here on the winch plate to the frame as well. So these T-brackets are basically going to slide into the frame and basically be, it's like having a threaded nut basically in the frame. It's like a sandwich plate, they call it. So we're going to go ahead, slide under the Jeep, slide these into place, and I'm going to show you exactly where they go. Alright guys, so we're here under the Jeep. You're going to see right here and right here, you're going to have this little area here, and these are going to pretty much slide down into this place here. You might have to pull this wire out because that's what it's looking like. We're gonna have to do is pull this at least out somewhat like that, and then this is just going to slide down into place like so. We may have to manipulate it a little bit to get the threads to line up, but that's basically what you're gonna do. We're going to repeat the same process on this side here. Alright guys, so this here is going to be our passenger side bracket. This is going to basically, like I said, if you look here, this is going to be what secures our winch plate here to the frame. So let's get under the truck, get this set up. Alright guys, another issue I'm running into here. They welded the wrong nut to the back of this. If you look, you can see how much smaller the nut is than the hole. And the hardware that they want you to use to put these together doesn't fit. So I had some flag bolts laying around with a thicker nut and a thicker bolt that will fit. So we're going to go ahead and use them. I already did that here on this side. You can see the flag right there. And the way these work is you just kind of slide them into the frame rail until you see the nut on the back, and then you thread your bolt in. So we're going to be using them. And we're not going to be using the hardware that they included because it's blatantly wrong. So let me get that in, and then we're going to go ahead and do our final torque down. Alright guys, we got all of our brackets here started loosely. So now we're going to go ahead and start tightening the 8 bolts here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And they have a final torque of, here it is right here, 60 foot-pounds. And then the winch tray bracket bolts here go to 40 foot-pounds. So we're gonna go ahead and start tightening everything down. All right, guys, Maverick here just got done tightening all these down. We got 4 bolts on this side and the 4 bolts on this side torqued down to 60 foot-pounds. We went ahead and torqued these down as best we could. This one in here, I had to use a stubby wrench and an open end, so I got that as tight as I could. We did go ahead and do the same thing here. That one is tight, and then we tightened those to about 20 foot-pounds because as I was torquing them, it was actually starting to bend the washers. So those should be nice and tight. So now we're going to go ahead and take our Badlands fair lead here, and we're going to install our fair lead here into the bumper. Alright guys, so in hindsight here, probably would have mounted this fair lead before I put the winch in, because I did have to loosen the winch to slide it back a little bit to get enough room to get my fingers back there. But the fair lead's on. I'm just going to tighten the winch back up, then we're going to open the hood and make our connections. Alright guys, we're totally done here with our winch install. We got our fair lead in, we have our tow hook in, we just have to spread this cotter pin. So now we've got our remote controlled wireless controller here, and we're just going to connect our positive and negative terminals, and we're going to test this thing out. Alright guys, we got all of our wires ran, our winch hooked up. We're going to go ahead and press and hold this button, turn it on. And it works. Let's see if we can test it. Alright guys, so we very quickly just want to test our winch here to make sure everything works. So we're going to go ahead and put it in the free spool mode. And that is going to allow us to then go ahead and pull out some line. And we're going to trip over a rock or a stick, whatever the hell that was. Alright. And we are going to wrap it around this tree here. And then we're going to throw the Jeep in neutral. And we're going to use our remote control. And we're going to see if it pulls the Jeep. Now this isn't really any type of a stress test or anything. We're not really pulling any type of crazy weight here. We just kind of want to see if the winch works. So I'm going to go ahead, like I said, wrap this around the tree and we'll be right back. The next thing you're going to want to do is lift this flap up and make sure you have the red switch on. That is your wireless switch. Then you can go ahead, press and hold mode for 3 seconds. And you're going to see we have wireless. Wireless is on. Let's just go ahead and throw the Jeep in neutral, and I am just going to back up to tighten this line up because it is a little slacky, and we're going to put it back to engage. So let's just back it up, put some tension on the line, and then we're going to throw it in neutral. All right, here we are in neutral. And let's just hit the in button. And there you have it. And wow, this winch actually pulls really fast. All right, and I'm going to stop there before the truck hits the tree. But now we know that this winch works. We know our bumper is in. It is nice and strong. The winch is working, and we're ready to go wheeling. So if this video helped you install a bumper and a winch in your 2007 all the way to 2018 Jeep Wrangler JKU, please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.